Hello everyone, I'm Steve. Mark's working late tonight, and this is Smokey, Steve, and Mark. Welcome or welcome back, and happy Thursday. We're getting there. It's almost the weekend. So today I wanted to do what I guess is part 3 of what is now a 3-part series on caretaking. Now, the inspiration for this series, if you haven't seen the first 2 videos, I'll try to put cards up here for that, is this couple that I've been following on YouTube, and I've been following them for a number of years. Actually, once upon a time, Mark and I were actually YouTube friends with this couple. We'd send like Christmas cards back and forth and stuff like that. And unfortunately, we did end up having a falling out. Not on our end, so I still watch their channel. You know, it's one of those where like, I don't know what your problem is with me, but I kind of don't have a problem with you. But there's been some changes in their channel as of late. The one partner is very ill, has cancer, and the other is trying her best to be a caretaker for him, but she's running into some struggles. She's getting a lot of negative feedback on YouTube about how she's trying to provide care, how she's interacting with the doctors, help that I think people believe she's refusing because she's wanting to do it herself, and then people question whether she's capable of doing it herself. So, in looking at their choices and their decisions, I'm kind of thinking, is that what Mark and I would want for each other? Kind of using it as I've said, kind of like a case study or a jumping off point for discussing. So, let's just say, you know, our situations aren't identical. I think where we had left off, we were saying, you know, let's say I had cancer, and for the sake of argument, esophageal cancer, and I went and had chemo and then had the surgery, and then Mark wanted me to come home, or I ended up at home about 7 or 8 days out of surgery. And because I had had that organ removed, I was left home with a feeding tube. So, I would assume, now I'm ill, and Mark is kind of calling all the shots at this point. Hypothetically, of course. Mark would not, in real life, call all the shots, we would talk. But in this alleged scenario, he's calling all the shots. So, we get home, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm more or less immobile. There's no reason to get up except to probably go to the bathroom. And the only care that I know that is coming is Mark's going to take care of me, and there's a nurse who's supposed to come in. So, Mark doesn't like people in the house. He doesn't like to have company over. He doesn't like anybody to come in. So, he doesn't even really want the nurse to come, I don't think. So, just hypothetically. So, the nurse does come and checks on me and sees how things are, and then leaves. And then the next day, the police are at our door. Now, Mark's very suspicious. A very suspicious person. And, has been convinced for a period of time that there are 2 individuals who are out to destroy our lives, ruin our credit, and see us dead and homeless. In theory. So, after the police come and go for what was like a wellness check, apparently, to see if I was okay, because I guess there was some concern, as I'm elderly and ill, Mark decides that could only be one of 2 people, and probably one, and decides to go on our channel, and I can't get up to get out of frame because I'm in the background, to lay into someone very, very hard, to drop the name of the channel, to lay out things that were like, maybe not direct threats, but close, very close, really inflammatory stuff, use language that I think would turn off our subscribers, and all sorts of things like that. So, I went along with it, you know, because let's say in this scenario I'm a little more passive. Let's just say I have no backbone. So I kind of go along and parrot whatever Mark's saying, and then nothing. Then nothing. All of a sudden, I'm not in the videos anymore. So, if you're only a viewer of our channel, what you'll end up getting is old videos from 6 months ago. You would see maybe one video with Mark, but I'm nowhere to be found. Where am I? Where did I go? Where did the sick person go? Where did the sick person go? A One observation that a viewer could make was that uh, maybe Mark was trying to capitalize off the fact that I was ill. That he had no problem putting me on camera when I was like, half half alive, half dead. Why would he get so shy about it now? Um, he's, you know, relaying to people when he finally does put out a video that for all these reasons I can't be seen on camera. I can't be anywhere near the camera. People are trying to hurt me, trying to ruin my life. I can't even throw boxes down the stairs. Not that I probably could anyway. Um, but so and then he releases a couple more 6-month-old videos. So the health of our channel isn't looking too good. But back to the bigger question. A channel that follows a couple is now a channel that shows old videos and follows one person. Where is the other person? What is happening? What is going on? This might not be unusual on other channels, but it would be quite unusual for ours for one or the other to disappear, and with very little explanation, one that didn't make sense, to just be gone for days at a time. Especially if you guys knew that I was ill. If in this hypothetical scenario where I'm ill and Mark's a bastard, if I was ill and you guys knew and you were following it, and even if Mark was throwing me on camera, and even if it did look like Weekend at Bernie's, if you knew that I was sick and then suddenly I'm nowhere to be found and you're not getting updates because Mark thinks that the FBI, the CIA, the KGB, the Legion of Doom, and the X-Men are all out to get us, you'd want to know. You'd want to know where, we were. Not just haters, but people that care how I'm doing. So where am I? Well, I guess there's a few different things where I could be. There's explanations that probably make sense and don't. I'm not sure what Mark told everybody. But I guess, exactly what Mark told everybody, I guess could be true. That, maybe I just, at the risk of being super conservative and super vigilant, nowhere near the camera, not on camera, no voice in the background either, I guess. But no, not on camera. Okay. I am not leaving the apartment, and there's something in the apartment that Mark doesn't want to film. So Mark has found us somewhere else to film in the interim. Possible, I suppose. Or I'm not home. I went to the hospital, had a doctor's appointment the next day, and right after that profanity-laced rant that Mark went on, where he, tried to rain terror on people, and then no one saw me again after my last doctor's appointment. So it's possible I went to the hospital and I'm still there, and Mark's just trying to cover for us, which I may or may not know about. Or I went to a rehab because I needed more care than Mark could provide. Not that Mark wasn't trying to take care of me. Not that Mark doesn't love me. Not that Mark doesn't care. But Mark might not have been able to. And if he wasn't able to, it's probably in my best interest to be in the hands of people who can. So, but again, those are just hypotheticals. Where might I go if that was where we were? What might the situation be? If our viewers didn't see me on camera for 4 or 5 days after knowing that I was having issues with the one thing that I came home with that Mark was responsible for helping me with, what would you guys think about it? Just disappeared. I was having issues with something. I was having a doctor's appointment the next day, and then no one saw me or heard from me for 5. You'd want to know how I was doing, and you'd ask certain questions like, where are you going? Where have you been? What happened? And if Mark wasn't answering, I think people would get pissed at him. People who cared would get upset because, it feels like you're either leading people on, I think, or just saying, no one asked you to care. I couldn't believe when he said everybody's replaceable. I was so appalled when I heard Mark say that. Allegedly, in this hypothetical situation where he might have said something like that. So, that's caretaking, I guess. Um, Again, I think in the situation where if say I came home and like in real life Mark and I think if I came home and I had a feeding tube and Mark was having trouble keeping up with it, probably would I probably would need to go to a rehabilitation place afterwards. I think I'd want to come home. I mean, that's what I would want to do. I wouldn't want to go to a rehab, but I don't want to put Mark in a position where I think he would have to do something either he wasn't comfortable with or wasn't feel like he was able to do. That doesn't mean he doesn't love me. That just means it's something he's not able to do. So I don't want to take away from feelings within a relationship necessarily. Granted, people can have individual character flaws. Like in the hypothetical with me and Mark, Mark is extremely narcissistic and self-serving, and it's more about the channel and him, and I'm kind of, somewhere else at the moment. Um, Off camera. And if you're not on camera on YouTube, you might as well, I don't even want to say. I seriously doubt that if I died, Mark would lead you guys on for 5 days like nothing had happened. So I don't think that's going on. But I guess, I guess we'll see. Um, I I'll let you guys know when I show back up. How about that? I'll let you know where I've been. I'll let you know what was going on. And I'll do my best to clear out the noise from what Mark is saying to try to let you know what actually happened. Okay? So thank you all for watching. Again, this is part now 3 of a 3-part series. For the couple that I have been watching and their channel, people have very strong opinions about the choices they're making and the character of one or both individuals, and there's certainly a lot of footage to back that up as well. I do have well wishes, warm wishes, and prayers for healing and recuperation for how they're doing. The rest of their life, they're on their own. But as far as from illness, absolutely you have those thoughts from me. I've chosen to separate those from everything else. So you have that from me. So thank you all for watching. Please do subscribe, hit the like button. You can follow Mark and I on Facebook at SmokeySteveAndMarc or on Instagram at SmokeySteveAndMarc. Our email address and contact info is all listed below. Thank y'all for watching, and we will catch up with y'all tomorrow when it's Friday. Thanks. Bye.